Buds, welcome to the only Reckoning guide you'll ever need. Special thanks as always to my friends Fireball and Bunny for helping me get this footage for the guide as well as completing it. And even more special thanks to our members Aya Lilith, the Happy Tree Hugger, and Kinboshi. But let's talk loadouts. Since this is the last map of Black Ops 6, take your perkaholics, your raindrops, everything. Bring Aether Shroud with Group Cloak if you're in a squad and extra charge. Take PhD Flopper with the Slider Augment and Tribologist Augment. Take Quick Revive with Dying Wish and Karmic Return. And for your gun, the most op gun right now is the Maelstrom with Dragon's Breath, but the AS Val and other assault weapons are just as good. And some are even better for certain fights. Perk order is also extremely important for this map, and your first perk should always be PhD. Your second should be Juggernaut, and your third should be Speed Cola. When you get Quick Revive, it'll automatically go to the front of this order, so get that at any time. Every time you go down, you will have 3 perks on your bleed out bar, and if you continue to go down, eventually you'll be perkless. And having PhD as your final remaining perk after being revived could save the run with its additional movement. When your loadout's good, load into the map. As soon as you spawn in, go to the right and melee this mop bucket to push it under the sprinkler system. You'll come back to this later, but for now, open the elevator leading to Mutant Research. Go straight and to the left and interact with this glowing box to pick up the syringe. Open the secondary doors on this level and make your way to the jumper to get to Tower 2. You're now going to need to look for 2 robotic legs on this floor. There are 4 spots in total that they can spawn at. One next to this electrical box with the broken mirror, next to this dead guy by the elevator, on top of the shelf in the scrap room, and inside the doorway across from Franken-Klaus. When you found him, interact with the Franken-Klaus to place the legs. By now, it should be around the first special round, and Commando Klauses will spawn in. Aim for their arms, and eventually they will drop 2 robotic arms. This may take a few special rounds to get, so be on the lookout for them while we complete our next steps. But once you do have both arms, interact with the Franken-Klaus statue to attach them. Make your way through the map and open Pack-a-Punch. And when the beam is stabilized, there will now be a floating zombie corpse inside it. Jump into the beam and dodge everything except for the corpse. When you hit it, you'll be thrown out of the beam and that zombie will now be on the ground. Interact with it to get blood in the syringe. Now, return to Mutant Research in Tower 1. There will be 2 static monitors around the room with green words flashing on them. If only one monitor flashed a word, don't worry. All you've got to remember is the first capital letter of your word. In my game, the monitor that was flashing said bellicose, so our letters would just be B. You'll need to head to the periodic table on the wall and find the element that has both your letters. The order doesn't matter, so if you have to flip them around, do so. And if you only have one letter, find that element that letter represents. When you found your element on the periodic table, look at the top left corner's number. You will then have to go up these steps and interact with this keypad. The first number will always be 0. If you have 2 digits from your element, then type it 0 and then whatever your digits are. And if you only have 1 digit, then type in 0, 0 and then your digits. If done correctly, the keypad menu will turn blue and the door next to you will open. Go up to this machine and you'll have to kill 3 vermin and 3 zombies around it. The cyst inside will absorb these zombies, but it's hard to tell when it's done, so interact with it often, and when it is done, you'll get this animation. And by this point, you should have been able to kill a zombie called the Geneticist. And on death, they will drop a key card. Pick it up and interact with this box in front of Richtofen's wife and child. The vault will open and you will now have a DNA vial. From here, fall into the hole in the floor and go to the quantum computing core. You'll need to charge the cyst with power from 3 yellow flowers around the room. You don't have to do these in any specific order. 2 of the flower locations are by this door, one on the right and one on the left. And the last flower is in between these computers in the room across from Speed Cola. When you've charged up at all 3 flowers, it's time to jump to Tower 2's entity containment room. There will now be 4 monitors around the room, all saying the same thing. Initiate power surge. You've got to go around, interact with every single one of them until all 4 are turned on. The locations are across from the ammo crate, to the left of Stamina facing the steps, and the last 2 are by this staircase. When all 4 are active, the power will surge and the panel in front of the Forsaken will be electrified. An Uber Klaus will spawn in, but don't kill him. Shoot the 2 circles on his shoulders, and when both of them have popped off, stand behind the electrical floor panel and wait for him to stand on top of it. He will absorb the Forsaken, and a mini lockdown sequence will start. Now you've got to kill the Uber Forsaken by shooting at the shoulder circles to disable his shields. Once his HP hits 0, he'll turn into a mini Klaus Forsaken. Shoot at his stomach core and kill him. There will now be a blue orb where the mini Forsaken died. Interact with it to place the cyst and collect your free Gorgofex. because now we've got to upgrade it. There are 2 different upgrades, N and C, and you can only have 1 upgrade per game, so pick carefully. The upgrades have nothing to do with a certain ending or boss fight, so pick which one you like. N has better crowd control, but isn't as useful for fighting special enemies, and C is great for fighting Uberklauses and commandos, but doesn't fare too well against hordes. The N upgrade is best for Sam's boss fight, but the C upgrade is amazing for Richtofen's. Regardless of what upgrade you're going to choose, you're going to start this upgrade quest by going to Tower 1's Director Suite and interacting with this door. Blanchard will start talking, and this is where the path for the upgrades splits off. I'm going to go over how to get upgrade N first, so skip to this timestamp on screen if you want upgrade C. Go to Quantum Computing Core and pick up this Strauss counter. If the meter says out of range, then you'll need to go to the other tower. You want to find the area of the map with a high signal. The meter will beep louder and faster depending on where you're looking. And when the beeping is constant like this, shoot a charged Gorgofex shot at whatever you're looking at. If done right, a life drain serum will drop. This serum can be hidden in zombie windows, so spam charged shots if you're not sure where to look. Next, you'll need 3 items scattered across the map, and you can collect these in any order. These tubes on the balcony buy speed cola, this box next to the Syst's original room, and this CPU fan to the left of the arsenal in entity containment. When you have all 4 parts, go to the Director's Suite and hold interact with this table next to Blanchard's door. This will extract Blanchard's essence, but it will start a lockdown. Survive while protecting the extractor. If done correctly, the doors will open and Blanchard will evaporate. Take his essence out of the machine and go to the Syst's original spot, and hold interact to infuse Blanchard's essence into the gun. Now, you've got an upgraded Gorgofex. To skip me explaining the other upgrade steps, then go to this timestamp. If you're interested in getting upgrade C though, go to spawn and interact with this red button in front of the teleporter. This will spawn a maintenance Klaus bot. He will go to the reception counter and you will need to protect him. When he is done hacking, he will explode and the quantum computing core's elevator will be shut down. Go through mutant research and fall through the floor. In the elevator, there'll be 3 red switches, and what you've got to do is parachute down the elevator and interact with all 3 of them. They'll turn green, and once you hit the ground, you will be teleported. Panos will now be a blue floating orb in the air. He'll infuse zombies with this blue electricity, and what you've got to do now is kill all of them. Once they stop spawning, Panos will eventually manifest in the middle of the room. And once he's done talking, interact with him while having the Gorgofex out and absorb his essence. Now, you've got upgrade C. No matter what upgrade you have, it's time to go back to mutant research and interact with the syringe box to place the syringe back. This will spawn in an HVT Mangler, an Elder Disciple, and toxic zombies. Kill the Mangler and it will drop the Fowler mutant injection. Go to entity containment staircase and interact with this box next to the metal doors. Pop the mutant injection and stand in front of the scanner. If done correctly, the doors will open to another portal. But if you didn't manage to time things right, don't worry. You can get another one by interacting with the syringe box, and for 1,500 salvage, you can get another. We'll come back to this portal later, but for now, we need to go to the Director's Suite. Around the offices, there will be 3 different papers you need to interact with. These can spawn in a variety of different spots, but I would recommend first looking at the desk outside of Richtofen's room, on this table in the lunchroom, in front of the TV in Elemental Pop's room, and on Richtofen's desk. Now, you'll need to organize them in chronological order using the dates, specifically the month. In my game, the first one we found was Notso's Collar. The date was 7/15/85. We now need to remember the top number next to the title. In our game, this was 1. So the 7th month will represent 1 in our code. The other 2 months we had were 6 and 8. So in chronological order, our code would be 6, 1, 3 to represent the 6th, 7th, and 8th month's numbers. The last file will be in the door that we just opened in entity containment. Going through the portal will lead us to the teleportation room. The final file will always be on this control panel. In our game, the last digit was 4, and the month was chronologically last, making our final code 6134. Walk to this PC and type in your code. If done right, the monitor will say access granted. What this has done is actually enabled the hanging Klaus to be activated, but for that, we're going to need an Uberklaus. Whenever an Uberklaus spawns, get him to throw a shock charge at you while you're standing next to the hanging Klaus, and this will activate him, making him Franken-Klaus. He'll start hacking the PC terminal nearby, and when he's done, he'll need to be escorted upstairs to entity containment. Now, you'll have to wait for a S.A.M trial to spawn in. The trial will always be kills in this location. While it's active, Klaus will hack it, and once you have completed the trial, he will go to the Teleportation Lab. Next, you'll need to destroy the crystals on the portal. And to do this, we've got to head to Pack-a-Punch. The main monitors should now be green, and what you've got to do is interact with this red button and kill all quantum vermin that spawn. Use the Gorgofex and make sure to get every last one of them. If done correctly, the beam will stabilize after some time and a blue ball will manifest over the middle device. Interact with the Gorgofex and it will be infused with blue energy. Do not shoot the Gorgofex though. Run back to the Teleportation Lab and shoot a charged shot at this portal. The crystals will break and we've only got a few more steps left. You're going to need to head to the quantum computing core and use melee macchiato to punch open this box. It will expose a purple brain, but before you interact with it to pick it up, aim a charged Gorgofex shot at this window. This will make a fungal head pop down. This is for the next step, so it just saves some time to grab it while we're already here. Once you've got that head, interact with the brain and you need to hustle to the teleportation room. You're being timed here, but if you use the jumper to go to Android Assembly and then the elevator up into Entity Containment and go to the Teleportation Lab, you'll have plenty of time. Once you're in the Teleportation Lab, interact to place it back into this box next to Klaus. If you fail and time runs out, just wait for these lights to glow green and then try again. When the brain is successfully in the core, make your way back to spawn. You're going to return to the mop bucket that you moved at the very beginning of this map. Interact with it to place the fungal head. There will now be purple infused zombies that you'll need to kill around the head. You can immediately pick the head back up or you can leave it in the water until it's fully absorbed the zombies. I much prefer to pick up the head and bring it back to the Teleportation Lab because that is where we'll need to take it. But if you're on a higher round, know that you won't be able to sprint while you're holding it. And if you hold the head for too long, then an Aether demon will slowly damage you. And possibly the worst part of this step is that when you drop the head, it has physics and can easily get lost. This happened in one of my games and we lost the head entirely, so if that happens to you, then go back to spawn and check the corners around the mop bucket. Fireball and I think our head fell out of the map, but luckily it respawned here. You'll know that the head is done absorbing energy when its eyes shine purple, and you will need to make sure you pick up the head before interacting with the portal. If you don't have the head and interact with the portal, you will be teleported to Tower 1 and will get downed or have your dying wish used. When you place the head in correctly, it will stabilize the portal. Now you're on the final step, which is also very easy. You've got to play Pokemon with Dark Aether items around Tower 1. These lockboxes around the map will now be open. Interact with them to get the Vacuum Seal Device Tactical. You'll need to chuck these at items with purple mist around them. When captured, make sure you pick up the seals. You will need to have 4 total items vacuum sealed. The locations for the lockboxes are next to Klaus in the teleportation room, across from the ammo box and entity containment, next to the arsenal in the director's suite, in front of the arsenal in mutant research, on the balcony of quantum computing core, and in the spawn next to this dead guy. If you miss any of your throws, don't worry, these will respawn in their bins after a few minutes. When you have all 4 vacuum sealed, go to the teleportation lab and interact 4 times with this main console. When all 4 seals are placed inside, interact again to start a lockdown sequence. It's now your job to flip these switches around the room. One by one, they'll light up red, and you'll need to interact to flip them to green. Sometimes they don't glow red or green, so I found that it's easiest to run in circles and interact with each of them if you don't see a red one. When all of them are flipped green, the sequence will finish and the portal will be usable. Now you are ready for the boss fight, so make sure to have level 3 Pack-a-Punch, legendary gun rarity, a self-revive, gobblegums, everything you could possibly need. Mutant injections and chopper gunners suck for both boss fights, so I would highly recommend taking a death machine, but it's really up to you. Once you're ready for the boss fights, interact with the portal to enter the final area of the map. This is where you'll have to make a choice. Do you help S.A.M or Richtofen? So if you want to fight S.A.M, pick Richtofen, and if you want to fight Richtofen, pick S.A.M. My squad got a bit confused at the wording, so make sure everyone is on the same page. The elevator will go up no matter who you pick, but if you choose to help S.A.M, then commandos will spawn, so take them out. These next few steps will be the same regardless of which boss you're choosing. When the elevator stops, hop out and fill up 3 soul box LTGs around the room. 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. When done correctly, dialogue will play and that's your cue to return to the elevator. Once all players have returned to the elevator, it will go up again. On the next floor, there will be Aether infused energy pipes on the walls. Some of them will have crystals on them and what you'll need to do is shoot at them to unclog them. When all of them are crystal free, dialogue will play, and that's your cue to return to the elevator. Wonder Fizz is on this second floor, and so is a workbench, so make sure you have everything you need before you proceed. The elevator will raise for a final time, putting you on the rooftop. This is where the boss fights differ. I will be going over S.A.M's boss fight first, because this is the one my squad did first, and it's the easier of the two. S.A.M will spawn and fly straight forward, dropping electrical traps. When she settles, she will go into a laser beam attack targeting one person. If S.A.M doesn't maintain line of sight on that player, then she will pick a new target. Wait for her attack to end and shoot at these 4 dots around her center eye. Eventually, she'll float above the Sentinel artifact and throw electrical traps around the map. During this time, her underside will be exposed, and you can shoot at it to get some extra damage in. Continue running and dodge these electrical traps, but don't worry, they don't do much damage on impact, but they will stack up over time. Another of her attacks is that she will shoot dual electric charges. Hide behind cover and wait for the attack to end. If she's not targeting you, then you can hit her eye and get some damage in while your friend hides for their life. She'll repeat these attacks in no specific order during this phase. Once her HP is roughly at 66%, she will vanish into the dark aether. Hordes of zombies will spawn, so top up on shields, charge your field upgrade, and get ready, because a S.A.M trial is going to start. These are different each time and are optional. If you succeed, nothing bad will happen, but if you fail, you will be given a debuff power-up. In our game, we got ammo drain, so every second we had our weapons out, we would lose ammo. If something like this happens, just keep running around and dodging and buy more ammo. Eventually, S.A.M will return and will drop hordes of zombies from the sky and continue her attacks. After destroying 2 of the 4 smaller circles, S.A.M's center eye will now turn red and become a crit spot. This will go away every now and then, so when you see it, unload. Once that crit spot is revealed, S.A.M will now have an additional attack, the Beyblade attack. She will spin to the center of the map, throw out electrical charges, and then continue to spin around. Keep running and just stay out of her traps. When she is in this phase, it is the ideal time to use your death machine score streak. In my game, I tried using the chopper gunner and actually got shot out of the sky, which was pretty cool, but also pretty worrying because she can do that! S.A.M will jump in and out of dark ether portals and continue her laser attacks and Beyblade spins. The best strat for this is waiting for S.A.M to start her Beyblade attack, run to the middle and shoot her underside. Dodge the traps, which AC units are great for, and take cover from her laser attack. She'll keep recycling her moves until her HP is roughly at 33%. She'll vanish into the dark ether once again, and another S.A.M trial will begin. Once it's over, she will come back into the map and you'll be in the final phase of the fight. S.A.M's attacks will speed up tons, and even though there are no new attacks in this phase, she really loves her Beyblade attack. This phase requires you to essentially outlast S.A.M. Kill the zombies while she has her shield up to regain armor and recharge your field upgrades, and little by little you'll wear her down. Once her HP hits 0, this cutscene will play.
To the party.
And if you want to do the Richtofen side of the Easter egg, then buckle up. This is the hardest boss fight in Black Ops 6. Just like before, the elevator will let you out at the roof. When you're about to be let out onto the roof, align yourself to the south and get ready to fire. Richtofen will be in an Uber-Klaus mech, and you can do some damage early while he's talking here. In this phase, he will have a few different moves. The first one he hit us with is this electric ball attack. He will shoot 3 shots to where his AI thinks you're going to run. Change directions often and don't step into these once they're on the ground, because they will chunk your HP. Just like a normal Uber-Klaus, he will run after you, and if you get too much separation, he will launch and stomp at you. So make sure to kite him and shoot his shoulder circles to disable his shields. You can kite him and avoid all of his abilities entirely by making him jump around these AC vents or by PhD sliding around him to trigger his punch attack to stall him. While he's in this form, Uber Mini Klauses will spawn and come after you. Make sure to kill them ASAP because they will slow you down and do a bunch of damage. Once Uber Richtofen's HP hits zeros, book it to the other side of the map. Richtofen will immediately enter phase 2. Be on high alert. This is where most runs will fail. He will have a jetpack Wunderwaffe and lots of bombs. A max ammo will spawn, but don't rush to it if you don't 100% need it. Lethals and tacticals will now also be spread out across the map, so make sure you avoid them. And if there is only one thing that you take out of this tutorial, make sure that it's this. Keep your distance and keep moving. Fireball and I tried to hide behind this AC unit in one of our games, and he came up to us and we insta-died. Make sure that you ping Richtofen and hug these walls to block his vision of you. Every now and then, peep out and try shooting him only if you are able to slide away very quickly. Make sure that you always have a wall or something to hide behind and a horde to replenish your shields with. Richtofen will follow after you in a circle, so keep distance until he goes into another attack. He can also change which direction he's flying in this circle, so make sure to note if he's going clockwise or counterclockwise. The second one he did in my game was his bomb attack. Richtofen will launch up into the sky and boost down, dropping bombs at one player at a time. Having him pinged here is super helpful. Look up in the sky or at the minimap, and whoever he is closest to is who he will bomb. He will dive bomb in a straight line, so strafe to the sides and avoid it. He can do this multiple times before coming back down, so stay on your toes. While he's doing that, prioritize killing zombies to recharge your field upgrades and top off on shields. Eventually, he will come back down to earth and continue circling in the sky around you. Continue kiting and hide behind cover. During this attack, he can cross straight through the center of the map, and he'll bomb you. Continue running around the center walls because he will immediately continue his attacks. Make sure that you're constantly blocking his line of sight with these walls. His hardest hitting phase is his ground assault phase. He will lower down to the ground and fly directly towards one person. He will hard lock onto you and will spam the Wunderwaffe. He will occasionally have a reload animation, but do not risk getting shots in if you aren't 100% comfortable. Eventually, he will rise into his normal circle form or fly to bomb you. So just be careful and stay running and blocking his line of sight. When Richtofen's health gets to 66% HP, he will fly into the sky and will spawn hordes of zombies. Kill as many as you can and refill your ammo. This is the perfect time to get shields, charge Aether Shroud, and destroy nearby tacticals. After a while, Richtofen will return and continue his attacks. Another max ammo will spawn, but only get it if Richtofen isn't close. Make sure that you're repinging him constantly during this fight to see his movements through walls and on the minimap. He will now be able to throw concussions and smokes at you, but just keep on sliding around and blocking his line of sight. Continue to kite him until his HP hits 33%. He will fly into the sky and enter his final phase. Kill the hordes, get more shields, get Aether Shroud charges, and get as far away from him as you can once he comes back down. Like in the last phase, he will be able to throw Molotovs in a line at you. This makes it hard to train, and even though I had Dying Wish, thanks to Black Ops 6 being a modern zombies game, sometimes it just won't proc. So don't be afraid to use self-revives here. Once Richtofen's health reaches 0, this cutscene will play.
chose a party.
And congratulations, you have completed the Reckoning Easter egg. Regardless of what boss fight you picked, once that cutscene's over, you can either choose to exit or exfil. The rewards you get for this, regardless of which boss fight you picked, are this gray skin, 5,000 XP. And if you complete this before directed mode comes out in a few weeks, then you will get this limited edition calling card. But don't worry, if you did it afterwards, you'll still get this less rare, but still cool looking calling card. Please let me know in the comments if you're struggling with any of the boss fights or other steps. If you'd like to watch more of our COD Zombies content, then check out these videos on screen now. But until then, remember, buds, to join the village today. It's only a click away.